everyone, welcome back to our next part of the topic on strength 4.2. In this topic, we are going to be looking at some very interesting organic molecules which are aldehydes and ketones. These molecules have been introduced in our last session when we were studying about the oxidation of alcohols. We said that when a primary alcohol oxidizes itself, it changes into an aldehyde, which will then oxidize into a carboxylic acid. On the other hand, a secondary alcohol will oxidize itself to give you a ketone. Now, these chemicals are not only found in the laboratory, but they are very common in naturally occurring systems as well. For example, aldehydes and ketones can be found in foods, fragrances, and even in medicine. Some of these aldehydes are responsible for some very pleasant taste and odors, such as from vanilla. Now, vanilla is a chemical or a substance which actually adds flavor to the food or any product that is added to. And the chemical that is responsible for these is called vanillin. Similarly, almonds. Almonds, they contain a chemical called benzaldehyde, which is an aldehyde that is responsible for the brain triggering action of aldehydes. And then we look at cinnamon, which contains cinnamon aldehyde, that is an aldehyde coming from cinnamon. Aldehydes can also be used in a lot of other places as well, because these cause unpleasant hangover feeling that can come from consuming a lot of alcoholic beverages. So if you're wondering why someone is having a hangover feeling, it is because their bodies are releasing aldehydes. Garlics also, they release a chemical called ketones. Now, ketones are also responsible for many known odors, okay, like garlic, as I have mentioned here, camphors, and even muscone or musk oil, which is a very active ingredient in perfumes. Now, some of the very interesting occurrences of aldehyde and ketones occur as sex hormones. Like, for example, the male sex hormone, which is testosterone, that is an example of an aldehyde. And then we have the female sex hormone, which is progesterone, a hormone that is secreted by the ovaries, which stimulates the growth of the cell in the uterine walls. So you can see that there are so many occurrences of these molecules which are part of our everyday lives. I can keep going on and on and on about this, and then just to add on to that bit of information, I want to share with you, there is a drug called cortisone, which is ketone, and that is used by those patients which suffer from rheumatism. So people who are suffering from a disease of rheumatism, they are given a drug called cortisone. It's also known as arthritis. Most of the ketones we will see later on, they are very useful in our everyday things like nail polish removers and so many more. So let's just have a look at what these aldehydes and ketones are and how we are going to name them. First of all, let's look at how we are going to name an aldehyde. The aldehydes and ketones, both of which contain the carbonyl group as a functional group. So if you look at the general formula of an aldehyde, you can see it is containing a carbon, oxygen, and a hydrogen atom. So this is how the aldehyde molecule actually looks. It represents the alkyl group, and the COH, the whole of this is a functional group of the aldehyde. The name of an aldehyde is going to end with the word Al. Let's see. So we have one carbon here. Notice something very important here. The R group in this case is the hydrogen functional group, so that it becomes more clear to you. So that is a functional group, and attached to this is the R, which is a hydrogen. So since you have one carbon there, the prefix we use is meth, and it becomes methanol, also known as formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is that chemical which is used as a preservative for biological specimen. So in case you are wondering how and what are those chemicals that's kept in the lab where all the live specimens were once used to be are kept in there, well, that's the methanol. The other example is this one here. So again, I'm going to highlight or the enclose functional group. So that is your functional group, R group, and this is your R group, the CH3 group. So altogether we have 2 carbons here. Therefore, the prefix we use is going to be eth, is going to be ethanol, also known as acetaldehyde, which is used to treat. Any idea what is this tablet going to show? Insomnia. People who have difficulty sleeping, okay, they are prescribed this kind of medicines which contain the active ingredient acetaldehyde. Properties of aldehydes are they cannot form hydrogen bond with their own molecule. The reason because the position of the oxygen and the hydrogen. The way the oxygen and the hydrogen in the aldehyde is positioned, it kind of prevents them from forming a hydrogen bond with another aldehyde molecule. So that is called a hindrance effect. Okay. They are also, if you compare an aldehyde, as the aldehyde chain increases, even though they are having a weak van der Waals forces of attraction, but as the chain length increases, the strength of the van der Waals is going to increase, which is why the smaller aldehyde is going to exist as a gas, while the bigger ones will almost going to be like a liquid. Now, aldehyde and ketones, they have very strong odors. Okay. The smaller aldehydes, actually, they're quite unpleasant in smell, almost like a rotten fruit. That is how nice the smell is. Okay. But as the size of the aldehyde molecule gets bigger, the smell kind of gets nice, and that is the reason why the larger aldehydes can be used in perfumes even. Moreover, aldehydes are also found in human body as a form of vitamin A. Okay, that's one of the forms in which aldehyde is found in the human body. It is also found as octanol. Now remember when we are looking at naming aldehyde, we said the name of the aldehyde is going to end with Al. So octanol is an aldehyde which is made of, how many carbon atoms do you think an octanol is made of? 8. It's made of 8 carbon atoms. So this octanol is an aldehyde which is found in orange oil and even in orange juice. Furthermore, the smaller aldehydes are soluble in water because they can easily form hydrogen bonding with water molecule. Don't get confused. Aldehyde can't form hydrogen bond with each other, but they can form hydrogen bond with the water molecule. So you can see how the hydrogen bond is actually formed. Now you have the aldehyde. The oxygen of the aldehyde can easily bond to the hydrogen of water. But if instead of water there was another aldehyde, then this bonding would not be possible because the molecule itself is very big, and because of its large structure, they cannot orient themselves nicely to form the bond. Okay. The next we are going to be looking at is the nomenclature of a ketone, how we are going to name a ketone. Ketones have the functional group where the alkyl groups are on either side, and you have a C double bond O in the middle. The name of a ketone ends with ONE. Let's look at an example here. So you can see one alkyl group right on the left and one alkyl group on the right. We have the functional group, which is the CO group. Altogether, there are 3 carbon atoms, so they are known as propanone, also known as acetone, a very active ingredient in nail polish removers. Then we have a 4 carbon atom ketone. where we are having we have the double bond carbon on the second carbon. You can see, always give the number to the functional group lowest. Okay, the lowest number should be given to the functional group. So we will start numbering from the right. So that becomes carbon 1. That's carbon number 2. So we will have a butanone. Okay, butanone. And butanone is a chemical that is used as a model aeroplane glue. Properties of ketones and try to compare them with that of aldehydes. So the first one is that they have pleasant sweet odors. They are liquids at room temperature, and they are soluble in water because they can form hydrogen bonding with the water molecules. So you can see here in this diagram how the oxygen end of the ketone is available to the hydrogen of the water, so they can form a hydrogen bonding with each other. Now, if I talk about ketones, in the introduction, I have briefly given you a description as to where these chemicals are found in nature. Just to add on to that piece of information, ketones can also be found in our bodies. Okay, now in the human body, the ketones are actually transported from the liver to other tissues. And these are the chemicals which are appearing in the blood and the urine when the fat is broken down for energy. Okay, fats are broken down in the, they are broken down by the liver, isn't it? The function of the liver is to deamination, to break down fats and amino acids. So from the liver, these ketones are produced and they are taken to other parts of the body. Now, ketones are actually formed when not enough food has been eaten to provide the energy that the body is actually needing. And the amount of ketone in our body should be very less. Now, sometimes in some people, the concentration of the ketone can spike up, can rise up to higher level. And if this happens, that can be a warning sign for an uncontrolled diabetes. And it is easy to detect that through blood or a urine test. And even the odor of this extra ketone in the body can be detected by a person. People who have a lot of ketones in their body often have a very different kind of smell, okay, in their, when they are breathing out or when they are talking. So you should be able to sense that out, that it is actually coming from some metabolism in the human body. Okay, so students, I hope you have learned a lot about aldehydes and ketones. Okay, you have learned how to distinguish and actually identify these chemicals from one another just by looking at their structural features. In the next session, we are going to be discussing about the different chemical tests that we are going to be doing to distinguish them from one another. Okay, so that is for the last part of our aldehyde and ketone. Until then, you make sure keep on doing your work. Good luck in your studies, and take care of your health. Health is very important, okay, because health is wealth. Remember that. Maintain social distancing. You have to practice all the COVID-19 protocols. Take care, people, and bye.